Good morning, Namaskar. On behalf of Ruia College Alumni Association, I welcome you all for the Jewel of Ruia 2024 and the Rising Star 2024 award ceremony. My name is Vipul Bondal and I'll be your host for today. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate what these awards are honoring. Since 2014, RCAA has been conferring the Rising Star Award on alumni to highlight their impressive performance at such a young age. It is our hope that stories of these rising stars will inspire the young generation to strive for excellence early on. The Jewel of Ruia Award was instituted in 2006, honors alumni who have made exceptional contributions in their fields and or in society throughout the course of their career. Our jewels are shining exemplars with national and international recognition for their work, but rooted firmly in the foundation established at Ruia College. Together with them, we celebrate the excellence that our alma mater, Ruia College, has stood for almost 9 decades. With this, I invite RCAA President Dr. Sonali Pednekar
Namaskar, good morning to everybody. Principal, Ramnarain Ruia College, Professor Dr. Anushree Lokur, past jewels in the audience, Dr. Ramani Narayan, Professor Suhas Pednekar, Srimati Acharatai Joshi. Our awardees for this year, the 2 jewels of Ruia, would receive their award this morning, Dr. Avinash Phadke and Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar. Rising stars of this morning, Dr. Atharva Karulkar and Shri Amod Nagpure. Vice Principals of Ramnarain Ruia College, Deans of Faculty, Teaching and Administrative Staff, invited guests, families of all the awardees, members of the RCAA family, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Ruia College Alumni Association, I'm delighted to welcome all of you to the flagship event of RCAA, the Jewel of Ruia and Rising Stars Awards function. We had just now a recognition of a future Ruiite making his presence felt. So here we are, several generations, all gathered for the love of the college. Let me begin today by congratulating Principal Lokur Madam and her team at Ruia College for the phenomenal A+ grade that they have received in the 5th cycle of their accreditation by National Accreditation and Assessment Council. Congratulations, madam. Please convey our congrats to everybody. I would now like to introduce to you the 4 awardees of the day. Dr. Avinash Phadke, a medical entrepreneur, founder of the Agilus Labs, a person who redefined in vitro diagnostics in India, taking it from standalone labs to becoming a globally recognized brand. He created the state-of-art testing facilities across India, Sri Lanka, Dubai, and many other places to provide very, very accurate diagnostics. He is also engaged with several organizations as an advisory capacity and member on their boards and governing bodies. Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar is our second jewel that we recognize today. Jyoti Sai is a social activist and co-founder of the Stree Mukti Sanghatana, an organization that has worked for women's rights and empowerment. We are indeed delighted to be awarding and recognizing her work this year, particularly as the Stree Mukti Sanghatana also celebrates its 50th year. Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar has worked tirelessly in the fields of women empowerment, running awareness programs on leadership, self-development, focusing on rag pickers, garbage segregation, biocomposting, and many other such activities. Apart from this, she is also a lyricist, a playwright, a director, and an actor, having written songs and plays that espouse the cause that she is committed to. Ma'am, welcome here. Two young Ruiites are being recognized today as the rising stars this year. Dr. Atharva Karulkar, the co-founder and head scientific affairs at ImmunoACT, a company that designs, develops, and manufactures novel therapies called CAR-Ts, which are created by modifying a patient's own T cells by using a vehicle that enables them to better target certain cancers and enhance their anti-tumor activity. Phew, that was exhausting for me, okay? But Atharva excels in something that I do not understand. It was difficult for me to read this, Atharva. Shri Amod Nagpure. Amod is an IPS of 2013, belongs to the Jammu and Kashmir cadre, is a Gallantry Award recipient that is endorsed by the President of India, recipient of an award called Shere Kashmir, an extremely versatile, talented, and academically strong young man who in his Ruia College days was the GS of our college and cracked his civil service exams in the first attempt. Currently, Amod serves as the Senior Superintendent of Police, Udhampur, Jammu. Amod, thank you for being here. He's come all the way from Jammu last night. Welcome. As all of you who are aware, we applaud the achievements of illustrious alumni of Ruia College who've made their mark in their professional careers, leaving behind footprints that our young students can emulate and draw inspiration from. There are so many more achievers whom probably we do not know about. Standing here as president of the Ruia College Alumni Association, I appeal to all of you to please let us know of any such achiever Ruia alumnus who probably has skipped our notice. We would love to have them in our database. My point is that every year, the selection of jewels and rising stars should get increasingly difficult. That's the target that we have for us. These persons whom you probably know of could be potential contenders to our awards. So kindly reach out to us with whatever data you have so that we are able to build up on our base for Jewel and Rising Star Awards. Over the last few years, we've had to modify some of our long-standing activities to suit the needs of changing times. During the COVID-19 challenging years, the college shared with us the fact that for various reasons, research funding and seed money for research was hard to come. So Ruia College Alumni Association decided to extend our support to raise funds and provide financial assistance to research scholars so that their research activities are not dampened. I'm happy to share with you that in this academic year, Ruia College Alumni Association has supported many students to the tune of almost 8.3 lakh rupees. Our funding goes to financially needed students under the scheme of Each One Adopt One. We also provide seed money for research. 92 students have benefited out of the Each One Adopt One scheme, and almost 35 students have availed of the seed money that RCAA has supported. Most of you will also recall that one of the events that RCAA did with great gusto in the college quadrangle was the medical camp. A few years ago, we reviewed our medical camp activity, and we also realized that young students are seriously grappling with a lot of mental health issues. Hence, we made a conscious decision to support the cause of mental health and well-being amongst our students. RCAA facilitated the appointment of a student's counselor, an initiative that received overwhelming response. This year, we've supported it with a donation or a funding of almost 1.8 lakh rupees towards counseling and mental well-being facility. The college partnered with us in a very big way and has scaled up the services of the counselors. We started with one counselor, but I'm informed now that we have 2 or 3 counselors that cater to the needs of our students. These statistics just vindicate our decision of addressing mental health issues amongst young students. This year, the college reports tell us that over 1,000+ students have benefited by several counseling sessions organized by the college. Every 2 years, the RCAA has an election for the managing committee members. This year was the election year, and a new committee came into place in September 2024. With this new committee, we made another change or development. We have now formed an advisory committee to the RCAA. The role of the advisory committee would be to deliberate upon innovative engagement between Ruia College, its alumni, and its students. We understand that many of us belong to the last century, and the students sitting here are the students of the second quarter of the 21st century. So we need to rethink, recreate, redesign some of our activities, and which is what we are seeking advice for. To align the working of RCAA with current times and to meaningfully engage with the new generation, we are in the process of updating our data bank. We want to have a stronger presence on digital platforms and social media. These and other activities require us to be financially sound. We've received generous donations from well-wishers and alumni in this financial year, but we will always welcome more. I appeal to all of you to generously donate to the Ruia College Alumni Association. You may earmark your donations for research funding, for supporting the educational needs of students, for infrastructure upgrading, for mental health, or for any other cause that you deem relevant, or for all of these together. Your support will play a very major role in strengthening our association. I'm also happy to tell you that Ruia College Alumni Association has a Pune chapter as well. For all of you who know people who reside in Pune, please let them know that there is a chapter in Pune. They can contact any one of us at the RCA office, we can lead them to the right contact to get in touch with at Pune. Other than financial support, we are also in the constant need of human resources. I appeal to all of you to volunteer your time, your energies for the love of our college and for the activities of RCAA. Here, I'm delighted to share with you that Dr. Srinivas Purandare, an alumnus of the Department of Chemistry, along with his very close friend, Milind, please forgive me, but Dr. Milind Joshi, both of them have played a very vital role in securing a munificent donation from Dr. Y.K. Hamid of Cipla Limited. Details of this will obviously be shared by Principal Madam. The donation was used to renovate and refurbish the Department of Chemistry, which is now named as Dr. Y.K. Hamid Department of Chemistry. We at RCAA appreciate the tireless efforts of Dr. Purandare in the execution of the entire project. On a closing note, RCAA seeks your wholehearted support in the form of financial assistance. At the cost of sounding repetitive, I'm saying this: data building, innovative and creative thinking, energies, human resources for us to forge ahead. Let us all stand united in heart and hand to take our beloved Ramnarain Ruia College to greater heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phadke Madam, for that overview of the activities of the RCAA. I now request Principal Ramnarain Ruia Autonomous College, Professor Dr. Anushree Lokur, to say a few words.
A very good morning. Dr. Sonali Phadke, President of RCAA, Dr. Milind Joshi, Secretary of RCAA, our esteemed jewels of Ruia today, Dr. Avinash Phadke, Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar, rising stars for today, Dr. Atharva Karulkar and Shri Amod Nagpure, sorry. Our past jewels who are present over here today, Srimati Achalatai Joshi and Dr. Ramnarain, our own former principal, Dr. Suhas Phadke, who was a former principal here and a former Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai, past and present RCA office bearers, family and friends of our awardees today. There are many Ruia alumni amongst us today. All my faculty members, support staff, and my dear students. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all to this prestigious event where every year Ruia College Alumni Association honors distinguished alumni as Jewels of Ruia and Rising Stars. I congratulate RCA for this unique initiative that not only celebrates our alumni's exceptional professional achievements and societal contributions, but it also inspires all my young students to aim high. First of all, my heartfelt congratulations to this year's Jewels of Ruia. Dr. Avinash Phadke, a pioneering pathologist whose contributions have revolutionized diagnostic healthcare in India, making quality care more accessible. He is an inspiration to all aspiring medical professionals. Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar, a trailblazing social activist and founder of Stree Mukti Sanghatana, whose lifelong work in sustainable waste management and women's empowerment has transformed lives in marginalized communities. We also celebrate our rising stars, Dr. Atharva Karulkar, co-founder of ImmunoACT, and Mr. Amod Nagpure, IPS, SSP of Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir. These are young achievers whose dedication and perseverance reflect Ruia's spirit. I'm really happy and proud to welcome you all today at Ruia. At this juncture, when I stand here as a principal of a college, I cannot stop but share all the achievements of Ruia College in past few years. First of all, as Dr. Sonali Pednekar mentioned, very recently we have been accredited in the 5th cycle with A+ grade. Let me tell you that only 3 institutions in the country have reached 5th cycle. Every cycle is after 5 years. For autonomous colleges, it's 7 years. And our journey of this quality that is there, NAAC is National Assessment and Accreditation Council. It's an autonomous body which gives accreditation to all higher educational institutions in India. And we are already in 5th cycle because we are very quality conscious, and our journey has started much earlier, even before other institutions were aware of this need that it should be there. So I'm very proud standing here as a principal of this institution. For the 5th cycle, maintaining A+ grade was a very Herculean task in a new format. So I thank everyone for their support in this endeavor. We became autonomous in 2017, and under autonomy, now it is an academic autonomy, so we decide our own syllabus, we take our own exams. So therefore, we have a different kind of student body, and therefore, since we have academic autonomy, our standards can be higher than other institutions which can cater to our students. Also, our exams are conducted in time, and our whole ecosystem, we can revise our syllabi very quickly, and therefore the gap, industry-academia gap that we talk about, we try to reduce that gap as an advantage of this autonomy. With successful running of autonomy for 5 years and a good NAAC accreditation grade, we were given empowered autonomous status, which is a higher level in 2023. And how does that help us? That helps us the degree certificate that our students get normally has only University of Mumbai logo. Now as an empowered institution, Ruia logo will also be with it. And that really helps our students. As you can see, the Ruia alumni network is their worldwide network. That helps our students definitely. We have implemented National Education Policy 2020 from last year. So this is our second batch, and under which there are various different verticals that are introduced, which we have embraced this very well, and we are offering multidisciplinary education, skill-based training, and various other 21st century skills that Ruia was always offering them, but now we offer them as a part of a structured curriculum, and there are credits allotted for all these activities. And this helps us ensure that our students are academically strong, socially responsible, and industry ready. Notably, we are also the first institution in Mumbai which has formed a cluster with VJTI and ICT for credit sharing. Under this NEP, there is a facility under this new education policy, and we have gone ahead and done that. Some important recognitions for us: we are recipients of Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan grant, which was given to autonomous colleges. Also, another prestigious grant by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, that is given for encouraging or promoting postgraduate science education, and we are only one of the only three institutions in Maharashtra who received this grant. Our students are doing very well in academics, research, sports, cultural, and all these kinds of activities. We have had University of Mumbai organizes a state level research convention called Avishkar, and in last 5 years we have we have won twice overall runner-up championship and once zonal championship trophy in last 5 years. Similarly, for Youth Festival organized by University of Mumbai, we have secured first rank overall in cultural and literary sections twice, theatre section once in last 5 years. And when I say University of Mumbai, those who are not aware, it has more than 720 colleges under it. Our students have done extremely well in state, national and international sports competitions. Our NCC cadets, 2 of them recently this year represented Maharashtra at RDC parade and received special commendation cards. As a college, we have received awards such as Samajik Bhan Puraskar from Maharashtra Times, Education Leadership Award from ABP News, and Eco Initiative Appreciation from Municipal Corporation of Mumbai. These accomplishments reflect Ruia's unwavering commitment to excellence and innovation. Our alumni are our greatest strength, and we urge all our alumni, as Dr. Sonali Pednekar in her speech mentioned, that we really need your contributions, your help. It will be through various avenues. We need industry linkages, internships, placements to our students. We need research funding. We need lot of mentorship. So any one of you, if you feel that you can mentor even one student, we want to have a formalized arrangement where we can allot mentors to our students, and that really goes a long way in shaping the careers of this future generation. RCA's unwavering support has been instrumental in helping college in various ways. As Dr. Pednekar has already mentioned in her speech, 92 economically disadvantaged students received tuition aid this year. 20 students benefited from for their funding for research initiatives. This year, 20 students. And counseling services that we have started from last year have helped large number of students to manage their counseling needs. Several alumni have helped us individually in their capacity, individual capacity, or through their organizations. Dr. Srinivas Purandare, as Dr. Pednekar mentioned earlier, and Dr. Milind Joshi, through their help, we have received a big help through Dr. Yusuf Hamid Foundation, and it is through his personal foundation that we have renovated the chemistry department completely. I urge all of you to go and visit the department, and the department is now named as Dr. Y.K. Hamid Department of Chemistry, and it was a very, very big change that you can see. Besides that, through these funds, there will also be our IT center. It will be completely renovated within next 2 months. That work has already begun. There, Dr. Shri Kishore Shah, who every year he is also our alumnus, supports us every year. This year he supported us for our self-vision center renovation. Our college building has been renovated completely. All those who are Ruiaites, you can see the change in the college. The whole facelifting has been done, and that is through a great support through our management, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, Pune. Ruia's legacy is best reflected in the societal impact of its alumni. And I'm very proud to state that 11 of our alumni are Padma awardees. Their achievements underscore our role in nation building and inspire us to continue striving for excellence. As we honor our distinguished alumni today, let this celebration remind us of our shared responsibilities to contribute to society and uphold values that Ruia represents. Congratulations to all the awardees once again, and heartfelt thank you to RCA for arranging this event every year. Together, let us continue to make Ruia proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Lokur Madam, for that overview of what has happened in Ruia College over the last 1 year. Now I request RCA President Mrs. Sonali Pednekar and Principal Madam to felicitate Dr. Srinivas Purandare. Before that, I'll give a short introduction of Dr. Purandare. Dr. Purandare was a student of Ruia College from 1979 to 1989. He completed his PhD under guidance of Dr. R.T. Sane in 1989. Since then, he's been working at CIPLA for the last 36 years, currently heading Global Regulatory Affairs, Clinical R&D and SciTech Laboratories, a subsidiary of CIPLA, managing a global team of over 500 professionals. Can I request madams to do the honors, please? Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Dr. Purandare would like to say a few words. Thank you.
So, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Sonali Pednekar, President RCAA, and Dr. Anushri Lokur, Principal Ruia College. My friend Dr. Milind Joshi, Professor of Practice, Ruia College, and all the esteemed members of the RCAA. So, just quickly, my association with Ruia has been from 1979 onwards, and I passed out of this college in 1989 after my doctorate degree under the guidance of late Professor Dr. R.T. Sane. One thing I want to tell that this relationship with CIPLA and Ruia has been since last 40 years. And that's the time when we started the CIPLA Ruia Therapeutic Drug Monitoring Laboratory. And I must say I was one of the luckiest of the research students who got admitted under Dr. R.T. Sane's guidance. And myself, Dr. Milind, were from the first batch of research students where we could work in the, I can say, state-of-art laboratory started at that point of time. And therefore, I feel that I owe a lot to this great institution, and I think whatever we have done is just a small thing what I feel, but I think all of us should continue doing whatever best we can for this great institution. And one more thing I want to say, while accepting this recognition, I want to say that I am representing a team and not myself, because this would have not been possible without an entire team working relentlessly for last 6 months, because I still remember our first meeting with our chairman, Dr. Y.K. Hamid, in his office on a Sunday morning. And the team which represented Ruia College was Professor Dr. Suhas Pednekar, ex-Vice Chancellor, then our Principal Professor Lokur, Dr. Milind Joshi, and I think Sahib Rao, the CEO of Ruia. And I think that first meeting made a very lasting impression. I think that is where it made a difference, because we are not sure how much donation we'll get. But I can say that the presence of Dr. Pednekar, Dr. Anushri, Dr. Milind made a significant difference, and that's where I think the Dr. Hamid decided to support this development of this chemistry laboratory. So And one more thing, again, after that, last 6 months, the entire chemistry department, headed by Dr. Manish Mate and Professor Donde and this entire team, really worked relentlessly, because I know they were adjusting the practicals of junior and senior college students. It was not easy, but I can say this task was completed within 6 months, and we were able to inaugurate this laboratory in the department in February 26, 2025. So thank you, everyone. I am just representing this. I am the part of this team, and thank you very much for the recognition. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and may I request you to return to your seats. Okay, now moving on, let us watch a short video about our first rising star, Dr. Atharva Karulkar. Now we'll watch a short video of our second rising star, Amod Nagpure. It is difficult to capture a lifetime of achievement in a few minutes. However, we are Ruiites, so we have made an attempt. So please watch. May I request the console team to play a short video about our first Jewel of Ruia 2024, Dr. Avinash Phadke. May I now request the console team to play a short video about our second Jewel of Ruia 2024, Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar. May I now request Principal Madam and RCA President Mrs. Sonali Pednekar back on stage to present the awards. Let us begin with the awards to our rising stars. I shall read the citation for Atharva now. In recognition of his exemplary entrepreneurial efforts to providing affordable advanced cancer treatment and the glory he has so brought to his alma mater, the Ruia College Alumni Association and the Ramnarain Ruia Autonomous College are proud to confer upon Dr. Atharva Karulkar the title Rising Star 2024 on this day, 15th of March 2025. May I now invite IPP. May I request you to take your seat? And now I read the citation of our second rising star, Amod Nagpure. In recognition of his service to the nation as a distinguished police officer and the glory he has so brought to his alma mater, the Ruia College Alumni Association and Ramnarain Ruia Autonomous College are proud to confer upon Shri Amod Nagpure the title Rising Star 2024 on this day, 15th of March 2025. Let us begin with the awards to our jewels. I shall now read the citation for our first Jewel of Ruia, Dr. Avinash Phadke. In recognition of a career as an outstanding pathologist, medical professional and entrepreneur, and the glory he has so brought to his alma mater, the Ruia College Alumni Association and Ramnarain Ruia Autonomous College are proud to confer upon Dr. Avinash Phadke the title Jewel of Ruia 2024 on this day, the 15th of March 2025. I shall now read the citation for Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar. In recognition of her steadfast social activism aimed at upliftment of women, a career as a playwright and librarian, and the glory she has so brought to her alma mater, the Ruia College Alumni Association and Ramnarain Ruia Autonomous College are proud to confer upon Srimati Jyoti Mhapsekar the title Jewel of Ruia 2024 on this day, the 15th of March 2025. So those of you who have attended this program earlier are used to a certain pattern. You've seen it a little different this time. So we're making it even more different. So this time we are going to make the rest of the part of the program a little interactive. And to make it interactive, we have a moderator. Please allow me to introduce our moderator for the day, Pradyuman Maheshwari. Pradyuman was a student of Ruia College from 1981 to 86, majoring in statistics. But numbers weren't his only forte. During his time at Ruia College, he introduced some of the events that we all know, like Arohan, Utsav, Rose Day, and also a rock show. He was the student editor of the Ruiite for 3 years, something that inspired him to become a journalist. His journalistic career has spanned various publications, including the Indian Express, Midday, DNA, and the Sakal Group. He was one of the early adopters of the digital and television media, and in text, video, and audio form. He currently publishes and edits a leading website which covers media, edits a magazine for senior citizens, and teaches journalism and communications. And aside on him, which a lot of you may not know, the character ACP Pradyuman in the serial CID is named after him, and it actually is. Pradyuman also served as the secretary of the Ruia College Alumni Association from 2022 to 24. Over to you, Pradyuman.
Thank you, Vipul, and thank you, RCA, for inviting me here. You know, in many ways, this is payback time. I think for the last 4 years, I've been involved with the Jewel of Ruia Rising Star function, and the attempt was to crunch interviews from 40 minutes to 10 minutes, etc. And now the responsibility of interviewing such stalwarts here today has been crunched to 40 minutes, and I need to do that. So, as my screen avatar would say, "Jarur kuch gadbad hai," right? Are the mics here? Yeah, okay. I'll just wait for the mics. So, I would have loved, I heard the citations for Ms. Mhapsekar as well as Dr. Avinash Phadke, and I heard about the love for music, and I've been reading your profile, so I could have loved to start with some on a musical note. But as we wait for the mics to come, I'm going to request all of you, and to start with, Jyoti Tai, to this is clearly not the first time your work has been recognized by way of an award. What does it mean to be recognized in a way you have been by your alma mater?
Of course, this has a special place in my heart.
Right.
And my association with Ruia, or rather Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, is more than 100-year-old, because my grandfather was teaching at SP College. He was a Sanskrit Shastri, Mimamsa Shastri he was teaching, but he died very early. And then I learned a lot in Ruia College. First of all, when I was a Kho-Kho player, I was playing in school also, but playing in inter-university tournaments was something, I was very proud of. We used to go for practice to Ruparel. At that time, Ruparel was not that famous.
It is. I'm not very sure that still is, but anyway, whatever.
Because when we used to go to practice in the evening, they used to tell us, "Be careful of going to Ruparel." Also, I under Vasant Bapat, we learned Bengali music, and under Professor Mahashabde, Students Mutual Aid Fund. Also, I feel that, I can say this, that in the last year, when I sung the song "Waqt ne kiya kya hasi sitam" in the Gymkhana, I think it is no more there. So there the judge was Chandru Atma, Gurudas's brother, and I was so happy that I got that award. So many things I learned in Ruia, and they were, in the life also. I was very sad when I saw our Kho-Kho ground was demolished. It is not there now, so. But still, I learned a lot of things.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Phadke, your views, we saw a list of awards that you've got, but clearly, just as we are all proud of you and of presenting this award to you, what are your sentiments?
Yeah, I echo the same what she mentioned just now. I also would like to mention both my parents are from SP College, Pune. My uncle, Professor Sudhir Phadke, was head of the Department of Psychology in Pune SP College. My all uncles, including Kishore Phadke, who later on became a pioneer in REBT in India, are educated at SP College. And now, of course, I had a chance to appear for my medical exam from Ramnarain Ruia College. And in my life, I have always said and acknowledged that apart from parents, the maximum influence on me is from my teachers. That's why you must have seen lots of my teachers' photographs. And I think whatever one is today, the roots of that are built in your schools and colleges. So I am grateful not only to Ramnarain, Ruia College, KM Hospital, Tata Memorial, but equally grateful to my vernacular medium school, Balmon Vidya Mandir.
Thank you. I think the name vernacular perhaps is, may not be a correct word to use because it's an Indian language finally. And I think we're all proud of the fact that, people like yourself have studied there and have come to the right at the top. Dr. Atharva, your sentiments, you are our rising star. You've done a great amount of work. What are your sentiments as you have just received the award?
It's a combination of mixed happy feelings, I would say so. So I am a bit overwhelmed also in a way that in my journey it's so early for me to get such kind of award is what I can acknowledge, because looking at what all three of them have done, I have done a minuscule part of it. So it's typically, I am overwhelmed in a way, but I'm also happy that the new departments like biotechnology have got the type of recognition because of this type of award. Thank you.
Amod, your sentiments. You've done remarkably well in the last few years in Jammu and Kashmir. I know your mobile number is public property, I think. Everybody knows your mobile number. I think one can sing a song or whatever that song is. But your sentiments as you've got the award?
I think this award for me is not just an acknowledgement, it's a kind of a feeling, a sentiment. Because rightly said by all the three co-awardees, I also share a legacy with Ruia. My father is a Ruiite. My father-in-law, who is with us today, he is also a Ruiite. Many of my friends with whom I spent a good lot of quality time in this college, they all are come here today. They are all working professionals, mothers. They are here today. I can see Bipinda there in the console. It all started in this auditorium. It all started in this wings. It all started in this quadrangle. And for me, I landed yesterday at 11:30 in the night. My daughter, I have kept her with my parents in Udhampur. I had to come. There was no not coming. So this is kind of a very enthralling experience. I have received tons of awards and medals right from the President of India. But this day and this award marks a very unique sentiment for me, and I'm really thankful. Thank you.
Amod, I'm going to continue with you since you have the mic. Tell me, you obviously had the choice of looking at Maharashtra as well as Kashmir. Tell us a little about, because everybody here would want to know as to why Kashmir and what has been your experience over there. Obviously, we all know the challenges that are there in Kashmir. So tell us more about that.
With the civil services, it is like we get to opt for our cadres. So in the All India services, which is the IAS, IPS and the forest services, we are made to choose for the cadres where we spend maximum time of our service. So when I was supposed to choose my cadre, I was a very naive aspirant. I did not have any idea as to what role the cadres play in one's career. I was just a 22-year-old young boy, and I had absolutely no idea how to choose a cadre. The only criteria for me was that I should be near my home, so I chose Maharashtra as the first preference. And then the list was like Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and J&K, the fifth preference. So the only criteria for me was all these places, as you would know, that they are somehow disturbed in one or the other manner. So I was of the view that I should be working in some place where one gets to do some real kind of firefight. So hence I chose J&K. There was no absolute any other logic to it. It was just the adrenaline rush and the seek of adventure and thrill so I chose J&K. But I am really glad and happy that I landed in J&K. This place gave me everything. This place gave me a lot of respect, lot of recognition, but at the same time, it gave me a lot of satisfaction. Today, when I see my last 10, 11 years in J&K, I find that it has made me a good human being. It has transformed me into being a very sensitive individual and a humane entity. These are some of the things that this place gave me. It imbibed into me sensitivities and at the same time empathy towards fellow human beings. I think these are some things which you cannot buy or learn in any of the institutions. It is only your interaction with the common people, with the grassroots level entities which empower you to become a good human being. I think being in J&K has been absolutely wonderful and I'm really thankful.
Oh, absolutely. I remember seeing your video where you were being given a send-off in Baramulla.
Yes.
And the moving accounts of people that were there were so heartwarming. So
Yes.
clearly you have won over, J&K like nobody else.
Can't be more grateful.
Atharva, tell me, you had the option of going into medical school while you were studying here, but you decided to stay back. And now, of course, you've done great amount of innovation, etc. in med tech. So tell us about that incident, that sentiment that you said decided to chuck the, as they say, admission to a dental school, etc. and stay here.
So I was always inspired to do something in the field of medicine. Looking at the way India was progressing, I always thought I would want to be a surgeon or anything of that complex sort of medical professional. Okay, and that is why I kept attempting for. I attempted for the medical exam not once but twice. The first time I attempted was before joining Ruia College, and that is where I couldn't make it through the mark to the MBBS. The second time I attempted while I was doing my bachelor's degree at Ruia College, and the idea was probably that Ruia College was a backup plan clearly, and probably to go into a field of medical profession eventually. But by the time I actually finished my entrance, and in between the entrances changed, a lot of things happened in that year. I was already in the second year, first semester of my BSc Biotechnology. So I was typically 50% through my course of BSc Biotechnology. And that is when I had already got exposed to so many things that I realized the potential of this field, because I had actually come here serendipitously. But that 1.5 years taught me what more can be done in the medical field in case of innovation. And that can be only done by pursuing basic sciences and may not be directly be done by using medical professional as an example. So that was a thought, and probably today I feel that I took a right decision then, and proud to be here today.
Absolutely. I think, it was an amazing decision to take, and we all have much to thank you for doing that. Now I'm going to come to the jewels and, ask some slightly meaty questions. Dr. Phadke, your contributions to diagnostics have transformed healthcare, right? And, but you've also turned an entrepreneur. So what took you to this path of healthcare? And in those days, there were other streams of medicine that were there, but what took you to pathology and then, of course, set up a chain of diagnostic labs and also deal with specialized healthcare, evangelize specialized healthcare as you are doing right now?
So, pathology is not the preferred option, and I would be happy to share that I took it out of choice. I was second in MBBS exam, and I had option of choosing medicine, surgery or any other line I preferred to choose. But I thought it was a basic science, and the reason I chose it because today about 80% of the medical diagnosis we do is based on the pathology investigation. If you are having a patient of breast cancer, the surgeon will remove the tumor. And whether it's X type or Y type, his nature of surgery is more or less the same, because the anatomy is same unless there is an anatomical variation. But the pathologist is not only dealing with the types of tumor, He is also dealing with different pathways which produce those tumor cells. For example, earlier we could say infiltrating duct carcinoma. Then we had ISC studies which would say, okay, you give anti-progestogen drug or anti-estrogen drug or Herceptin blockers and it will block the tumor growth. And now we have molecular pathways. So the treatment is so individualized that no two patients, similar type of morphologically similar type of breast cancer would be behaviorally same. And these pathways are determined, they are the backbone for medical oncologists to determine the future therapy. So that is the main reason I chose pathology. In a journey from a private practice, after 21 years, I realized that doing basic blood investigation with 200 test menu is not going to be sufficient for future. And that is when I tied up with Mr. Piramal to create a JV called Piramal Diagnostic and Dr. Phadke's lab. So we started about 80 labs in the country at that time. And this was merged in 2010 with then SRL Diagnostics. So currently I am heading that. But in one of the slides I showed you a photograph of Dr. Anita Borges. Now in 2004, I persuaded her to leave head of the department post in Tata Memorial, which is very difficult for a full-timer who is at Tata Memorial, and she joined me. And we created India's first center of excellence in histopathology. And because of essentially her expertise, I was only an enabler. It was because of her reputation and the expertise which she had, almost entire country's referral work in cancer was coming to this. So I think that would answer your question that why I chose to become a pathologist and then entrepreneur.
So I'm going to ask you a slightly, naughty question or perhaps a serious one. Given given the fact that you have been in pathology and given your deep understanding of hence Mumbaikar's health, how would you say would you compare today's generation with what it was, say, 10, 25, 40 years back?
So I would put it this way, that we are living longer with more morbidities. That's the summary. We are living longer because of the medication and not because of the lifestyle changes we adopt. So just to give you an example, we recently did a school survey for obese children with Dr. Shaila Sheikh, and you would be astonished that a school-going children, I am talking about 9th and 10th and 11th standard children, about 12% obese children had either pre-diabetic or diabetic. Almost 40% of those obese children had fatty liver, which eventually goes into cirrhosis. Today, India's about 12% population is diabetic, 12% is pre-diabetic. So 25% of the population is either pre-diabetic or diabetic. 35 to 40% population is hypertensive. And if you imagine that out of those 40% who are hypertensive, many will go for dialysis. So we are dialysis capital of the world. So you will see dialysis shifts in the hospital morning till night, round the clock, because there is shortage. And you will also see that this 25% diabetic, it is not enough to control the diabetes by drugs alone. I say drugs would play a very limited role in diabetes. An average Indian takes 300 grams of carbs every day. If we can just reduce it to 100 grams, most of the medications can be weaned off. And it's a misservice or disservice which doctors do, because doctors don't have time, so they're very happy to prescribe drugs to control the blood sugar. But blood sugar is not diabetes. Diabetic is a multi-organ disease which will eventually lead to stroke, kidney failure, heart failure, so many other things. And controlling blood sugar doesn't control the insulin resistance unless you have lifestyle as the basis or a pillar on which you are building the medication. So I would say Mumbaikar's health, if you are diabetic 30% and 40% hypertensive, you are seeing lots of young strokes, young heart attacks. And because of the environmental pollution, you are seeing lots of health issues because our AQI, which used to be around 100 or below 100 during COVID times, is now routinely 180 to 200. So even if you are a non-smoker, you are already smoking 3-4 cigarettes a day.
I know, and it's a fairly morbid picture that exists. But let me go to Jyoti Tai. Jyoti Tai, you've devoted your life to social and environmental causes, and over the years, and you're doing it through various ways, either direct or indirectly through theatre and music, etc. Tell us about, two questions. One is, what was the defining moment that actually took you to the path? And, tell us about some highs and lows that you've faced over the years.
My mother died in February 75. She was a feminist and she died in the accident. That was really, I was thinking about her life, and she was a trade union worker, and then suddenly I realized that I'm not doing anything. Though I was working at that time, I was married. I forgot to add one thing in the last question, that what I achieved in Ruia is also, I can say, I met my husband there because, but it is important for me because last 50 years when this work I'm doing sustainably, I was working also, then also acting in play and then household responsibilities. Still he was such a strong companion for me, so I think that's the reason I could also continue the work. When my mother died, we started a small group, Stree Mukti Sanghatana. At that time, Stree Mukti word was, everybody used to make fun of that word. Liberation from whom? Mukti from whom? From husbands, from children. And then we had to again and again explain to them that it is a mukti from the secondary status of women in the society. In so many fields, when you see the women are in the secondary status, and we want the freedom from that. But we actually, as a Stree Mukti Sanghatana, we do a lot of activities. We have family counseling centers for domestic violence, because after watching the play, women started coming to us, you solve our problems. So sometimes, seeing those cases, really it's like a black hole, because you, day in, day out, you are, so many women are coming for help. Then we also have daycare centers, adolescent sensation program. We have a lot of programs. But lows, when I started working with waste speakers, this was around 25 years ago. Why waste speakers? Because people always ask me, why all your women problems are over or what? Why you are not now going into waste? But the reason is that most of the waste speakers are single parent families, widows. And nobody will put their hands in someone else's waste, We don't even touch our own waste. Our income increases, our garbage also increases, but we just don't bother about it. And when I see middle class, higher middle class, and again try to motivate, convince them to segregate your waste, I really, in every cooperative society's meeting, I get frustrated. So these are also the laws you do, because you see, no municipality can process waste if it is mixed. You have to segregate. That is the solution. And it is very simple also.
Stree Mukti Sanghatana completes 50 years now. Do you sometimes feel, and we've just had observed Women's Day last week, do you feel that there's a fair amount of tokenism that exists about women's, empowerment?
Celebration is tokenism. But what we work is not a tokenism.
Absolutely, great. A word to people over here, the next time they see a waste picker, what would you advise people? The outlook has to change of people towards waste pickers. What would you give a one-line advice to people?
No, first thing is that you have to segregate your waste, whether it is waste picker or municipal worker. When we are not segregating waste, mixing waste irresponsibly with sharp things and all, we have to see to it that we give dry waste to waste picker. Even to municipal worker also, it should be segregated dry waste. Then only it can be processed and then it will not go to dumping ground. And wet waste should be processed in your compound only or at your home. Why municipality should take it and send it to dumping ground? Dumping ground is also the backyard. See, our attitude is not in my backyard. It is called NIMBY attitude. So, dumping ground is also our backyard. City's backyard. So, we must remember that. We just talk about environment. You were talking about, he was also talking about the air quality. Do you know that methane is 20 times more dangerous than carbon dioxide? And still we are not composting, because composting or arresting methane is the only way you can reduce greenhouse gases. Still we don't do it.
Right, thank you. Atharva, let me come to you. I was reading your profile and it was mentioned about affordable cancer care. I personally know a bit of that. Tell me, is that a bit of a contradiction? Affordable and cancer care? Is it something that can ever happen?
Yes, that can really happen, is what our vision is. That we can have affordable cancer care, but we now resonate with a different term from affordable, which we call as cost effective. And when I mean cost effective is that can we have a treatment which will probably cost the same as a treatment life cycle of other drugs combined together, but may not give you a curative option. So for example, if you are going through multiple cycles of a chemotherapy or a radiation regime, it would eventually cost you, what we did a survey, is somewhere around 10 to 15 lakhs rupees in your lifetime to get rid of your cancer. And again, chances remain to somewhere around 20 to 40%. But then can you develop a treatment which can be given upfront to the patients at a higher cost, probably at a say 30 lakhs cost, but your chances or your prognosis goes from 40% to 80% or 60% in worst case scenario. So that is where we are saying that affordable is also linked with cost effective, like whether it is cost effective to the patient, whether it adds good quality years of life to the patient, what is that cost means. So if you look at the pricing model, what the companies follow so far is value-based pricing, is what it is called in United States, right? So how much value are you adding to the people's life? That is how the cost increments is what pharma company decides on the cost which they sell to the patients. So what we are thinking, if we want to do this type of model in India, probably bring it up front to the patients and also bring curative options to the patients. Unlike something which can be one which can prolong your symptoms, rather bring something which can kill your symptoms. So that is the way of what we think there can be an affordable cancer care, and time will tell, because when we started we thought that who would buy this treatment from us, because when we started this journey, CAR T cell therapy, it was available in United States, and as of today and also 10 years ago, it costed 3 to 4 crore rupees per dose to the patient. That's something which I don't think anybody in this auditorium can afford right now, right? So our idea was that can we bring this treatment to India at an affordable price, and what should be that affordable price? Because affordability again becomes a subjective term. Something which is affordable to me may not be affordable to you, and so on and so forth. So we thought something which is similar to the cost of a bone marrow transplant treatment, because that is something as a standard of care considered in blood cancers, would be a cost effective idea. And had it been so that because we did not have that much funds, still being in IIT Bombay, did not have that much funds to do the research, the way we developed the technology was in a cost effective manner, and that's how the cost came down. And today from 4 crore INR per dose, we have been able to do it in India at 30 lakhs rupees per dose. Right? So that's a 90% cost reduction which we have been able to do in India.
Can I ask you a crazy question? So do you think it can ever go down further below 30 lakhs? Can it become 3 lakhs, for instance? Just
I don't know whether it will reach 3 lakhs any day, but it will definitely go down. And the way for it to go down is more adoption. So because what India has versus the developed market is economies of scale. A rare disease in India like cancer, it's still lakhs and millions of patients, versus a rare disease in developed states, it's still thousands of patients, right? So we have a lot of takers for this type of medicine, and that would probably reduce the cost of manufacturing and would bring down the cost of the drug. But at the same time, we are now working actively with other stakeholders like the insurance agents. Can they help us in subsidize? We are working with the government of India, like the CGHS and other people, that can they subsidize these treatments if they help us bring this cost down? Because the end of the day, the motto of the entire group is science for the society. So it has to reach the society, then only that science is beneficial. And so I think if all the stakeholders come together, we would be able to bring the cost down further from this.
Right. Thank you. Amod, I'm going to ask you a question now. You've spent almost a decade in Kashmir, and a high and a low that you've had. And you mentioned about the fact that you had the option of being an IAS officer. Did sometime in the and given the fact that in the pecking order, the bureaucracy plays a different role and the police play a different role. So my two questions to you is: did you sometimes have a regret that you weren't there in the IAS versus the police force? And a high and a low. I know I'm a journalist, but pens are off, so you can answer very freely.
Absolutely no regrets. Having spent now almost 12 years into the police service, I realized that this is one area which touches the common man's life at the first step of justice. We have seen court cases running up to decades in the Supreme Court, and finally a person achieves justice, which could have been delivered to him at the right outset of the entire jurisdictional journey at the doorstep of his police station. So police is one entity of the entire criminal jurisdiction system, which is capable of holding hands of the people and giving them instant justice. The entire edifice of the modern society or human civilization lies into the basic requirement, basic need, that is the requirement of security. We all sit here in this auditorium freely and participating in this event only because we know that our houses back there are safe, our families are safe. When the program concludes, we'll go on the streets in our cars and we'll be safe on the roads. So safety is the basic necessity of human civilization. Right from the Stone Age till today, all the human conflicts have been fought, have been worked upon to ensure safety. Then comes food, then comes development, then comes education, modernity, technology, and everything. The first necessity is security and safety, and I feel very proud to be associated with this service, which ensures that the common Indian citizens are safe back there in homes, their properties are safe, and at the same time, it gives me immense pride that we contribute to the national security and upholding sovereignty of this country. So there are absolutely no regrets. If given an opportunity, I would again join the Indian Police Service 100 times over.
Very well said. I'm sure when people did hear about the fact that you are, a senior member of the force in Jammu, is Kashmir a safe place to come into?
Definitely, it has always been a safe place. Today it is safer. The tourist footprint has always gone up. So I've spent 10 years in J&K, 9 of which I've spent in Kashmir proper, and I've seen tourists coming there every year, even when we have had the toughest years there in 2016, 17, 18, till the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. That the situation was very tough. Even then we have had tourists, and I'm sure not even a single tourist was ever harmed. So yes, it is a safe place, and I urge all to come there freely and have fun.
Great, thank you. Jyoti, tell me something. You were a Kho champion in your student days, and in the Kho of life, so to say, musical chairs that exist in life, any word of advice that you would like to give students? One is in terms of the balance of life of work and play that people must have, as well as in every other field. Any word of advice?
I think I'm sitting with IPS officer, so so the importance of playing and exercises, I should not repeat, but I'll give you only one example. For this play Mulgi Zali Ho, which is in Hindi Beti Aayi Hai, every year we were invited at Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy, Mussoorie. And there, those officers, the women officers, very few at that time. So I'm talking about 1989. So they had to do horse riding. And one girl was from Bihar and she was telling me, my mother never allowed me to go on playground. So now suddenly I have to come here and ride a horse. So I feel all the girls, students, whether boys or girls, now they are all busy with their mobiles. Instead of that, they should be. That's why I felt very sad when Kho ground was demolished. So, but I feel that the exercise is very important. I mean, if somebody asks me, I'm 76 now, they are asking me how you are working now and how much stamina you have. So I always say that because I was a sports person, that's why I could retain that stamina.
Jyoti Tai, I would like to tell you that now what we are doing is we make the students play sports. Yoga is compulsory for all the students. Then we are now giving credits for their sports achievements. So that is the change that we have done in our structure also because of the autonomy and with new education policy. So we understand, as educationists, we understand this importance and we are taking steps to get it into the regular system of credits also, so that they all play, they all do other things along with their academics, they balance all this.
Thank you. But I will add another point that when we were making this women's policy in 1994, we were seeing the atrocities. We urged government that there should be 30% reservation in police. After 10 years, when we reviewed that policy, we realized that only 10% girls are there. Because we felt that why only 10% girls? Because there are no grounds, that is one thing. Secondly, girls are not allowed to go and play. There are no women sports managers. There are so many things, and exams, 55%, height, weight. So you have to start from the basics, You want girls also to play. Only providing grounds will not suffice it.
I think in Ruia the picture is not the same. You can see in the student population also.
I'm talking generally.
Yeah, generally, yes.
No, leave aside Ruia, go to the slums,
Yes.
Everywhere only boys are playing. Do you find girls?
Okay, Dr. Phadke, you have, apart from your medical field, you have been a public citizen, you've been confabulating with the government about AQI levels, etc. And of course, the fact that you are in various social causes that you are involved with. So, a word of advice for our students and faculty as they are embarking on, greener pastures or whatever you call them, and what their outlook should be.
So I will just give few advices because I am nobody of that significance to teach them anything further. So I will confine myself to health, both mental and physical. I think they should, on the whole, the first is they should decrease the intake of white sugar and carbohydrates in their diet. Physical exercise is a must. They should grossly reduce salt intake to restrict it below 5 grams, because if hypertension is 40%, part of the reason you don't see hypertension in tribes where there is no salt. In other words, so it initiates the self-sustaining cycle of hypertension. I would also advise them only one thing, because I increasingly see, like Principal Anushri Lokur mentioned, the mental health counseling. today's young generation, when I started practice, when the patient used to come, the counseling was regarding at-home stress, the sexual difficulties, not having a child, those kind of issues. Now when the young couple comes, the maximum amount of stress is education related, job related, and most importantly, harassment at workplace, not getting recognition, not getting career opportunities which they actually deserve. And that's the basis of their stress. So we define health not as just a physical well-being. The WHO definition of health is it is both physical, mental and emotional well-being. So I would look at all of you to look at all three aspects in life and don't give only importance to competitive exams where you have to achieve certain numbers, because if you achieve those numbers and you don't get a suitable job, you will be dealing with some emotional stress and you must know how to adapt and handle it, because the days where the person joined the company and had a send-off after working for 40 years at the age of 60 are over, I think.
Absolutely. Dr. Phadke, I know you have a love for music, and especially Guru Dutt, a little birdie told me about it. So, as we end the Q&A, any song that you would perhaps like to recount that.
So you mentioned that she is very fond of Sahir. I am also very fond of Sahir, but I have a difference of opinion that we consider Sahir as all-time great, but we ignore the contribution made by the great Shailendra, Kaviraj Shailendra, I would call him. He essentially wrote Hindi poetry. He hardly used, Sahir used a lot of Urdu words. In Shailendra's language, if you see songs of, say, Guide, Yahan Kaun Hai Tera, you will see he gives, in one stanza, he gives an example कि क्यों नाचे सपेरा, means how the world had changed. He also gives that example that पानी पे लिखी सी है लिखाई किसी ने ना देखी किसी ने ना जानी. So I think we underestimate contribution of Shailendra. So I would say only this thing. Amongst filmmakers, I have loved Guru Dutt, especially in Kagaz Ke Phool and
Sir, I'm going to interrupt because in television the interruptions are common. Give us one line, sir.
So if I was to choose a song,
Yeah.
I would choose a Shailendra song, Kisi ki muskurahaton pe ho nisar.
I'm not going to force you to sing it, but nevertheless, Atharva, what is your any I'm not going to ask you to sing, but I'm going to leave that for Jyoti Tai later. But is there any guiding line that you have to yourself, some adage or whatever? It could well be a song.
It's not typically a song, but it's, I think, my work which keeps me happy and inspiring. So it's typically the hope and the smile of the patients which I have been able to see through my work. That every day motivates me to create more such human beings, and that keeps me striving hard for making it even more.
There are a host of students over here. How do we ensure that we have 100 more of Atharvas around, from Ruia College or elsewhere? A word of advice to them. How do you motivate them to get into what you are doing, cutting edge of med tech, as one would call it?
I mean, what has worked for me is the perseverance. I have been working in this field for almost last 10 years now. So this is something which I started as my master's dissertation project, eventually became my PhD project, now my passion project as a co-founder. So I saw it from ideation to reaching it to the patients as a trial, and now reaching it to the patients as a commercial product. So I think perseverance of whatever you do, I think will make you reach all the heights you want to reach.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amod, how do you motivate yourself and your force? Is there any one line that you tell them?
I just follow one principle, and that is to live in the moment. We always get perturbed with a lot of speculations and apprehensions, but I think living each day as its own is the key to a stress-free life. The kind of work the police officers do involves a lot of stress, and that consumes a lot of their energies also. So it is better that we deal each day individually, and obviously one thing that keeps us going is our families. So I would also suggest and advise all the students, spend quality time with your families. The strength of my life is my wife Sharvari, who is here with us. She has been staying with me in J&K since we were married. So I still remember the only condition during our marriage arrangement that I had was that we'll have to stay together. I can't have a separated family. And she was generous and kind and courageous enough. Being a Bombay girl, typical Bombay girl, having studied in King George, Khalsa, spent time in Mahim and all. So, but she chose to stay with me, and she has been driving me all together. So I find hope and strength only in her presence when I come back home. So all thanks to her. That I think that is one thing. Police officers always miss on their families, important days, birthdays and wedding anniversaries, but I have till today made it a point that I should not be that typical police officer who doesn't care about its families. So yes, that is one thing that drives me, and I would also request others to follow the same.
Great, thank you. Now, we are going to end this thing, but I'm going to request Jyoti Tai to take the mic and give us a few songs, give us one song at least, sing something for us so that it sets the mood for this evening, for your sentiments and your word of advice to everybody else.
But my voice is not that fine now.
That's okay. We'll help you. We'll also join you.
Okay, I will sing the song which I wrote for Beijing conference in 1995, and I had a fortune of going there and singing it there with the India troupe. समानता है ध्येय हमारा, पर बस नहीं उतना ही, भूख गरीबी वर्ण भेद और हिंसा से ये लड़ाई, निसर्ग मानव संतुलन हो तब ही होगा सफल ये जीवन, विकास समता विश्व शांति का नारा लगाते चले, विकास समता विश्व शांति का नारा लगाते चले, हम विश्व की महिला नई नई प्रगति की ओर चले, ले कंधों पर आधा आकाश सर को उठा के चले, हम विश्व की महिला नई नई प्रगति की ओर चले.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of you for indulging me for this Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wasn't that a fantastic interaction? There was so much to unbox and uncover in a very limited period of time. Thank you very much to all our awardees, and also thank you, Pradyuman, for leading this session so beautifully. Now I request Secretary RCAA Dr. Milind Joshi to propose a vote of thanks.
Good morning. We scheduled the program such a way that I will be able to wish you good morning. And I'm very glad I'm able to wish you good morning. In fact, it's 11 minutes yet to noon, so I'm going to fully utilize those 11 minutes. Don't worry, nothing like that. But Jyoti Tai, maybe I can't refrain myself, and even Dr. Phadke, everyone talked about methane and garbage. And I live in Thane. My Prakriti Society, the name of the society itself is Prakriti. You have 50 years for Stree Mukti Sanghatana, we have 25 years. And last 25 years from the day one, entire society we segregate garbage. We are a zero garbage society. And it's started by my wife, who is a Ruiite, who is a microbiologist. Okay. Please follow, all of you. I had a dream one day, well, I'm trying to make it little funny, that someday, Thanksgiving is always, whenever someone says about thanks, it reminds me of Oscar awards, right? So I thought there will be some Marathi movie winning Oscar, and then that director or actor standing on the Oscar stage and thanking dog and cat and wife and partner and whatnot. So that dream is not there, but at least I get this opportunity. I am not in filmmaking to propose a vote of thanks. I will do. I'm a chemistry student, did PhD with Dr. Sani in Ruia. So there is something called reversible reaction. So I'll start in a reverse order. Usually, even I don't see cricket much, but I saw Ian Bishop this time also. Always it will be that cliche phrase, last but not the least. I'm going to tell Modi ji to ban this phrase, But, so I'll start with the last first, usually what we say. I thank all of you alumni, staff, students, volunteers, and other attendees. And you can clap for yourself, all. I thank all RCA members, new, old, those who have come today for the first time, not yet members, please become member, life members, patron members, and donors and sponsors, and especially past jewels who are present here today. I thank my friend and whom we acknowledge today, Dr. Srinivas Purandare. I can tell you how blessed we are. I know him from 1979, and this is only second time I saw him on the stage accepting any felicitation. He's that way so humble and shy. I thank both jewels, Dr. Avinash Phadke, Jyoti rising stars, Dr. Atharva and Amod, and their family and friends. And while coming to the auditorium, we were talking, and the presence of future Ruiite also was here. So all past, present, and future Ruiites. These jewels and stars have added to the glittering galaxy of Ruia. I thank President RCA, Dr. Sonali Pednekar. She is not just inspiring, but in reality, she is a driving force, She drives her to do something for the college, and that's what I thank immediate past President, Professor Urmi Palan, and because she got me, all of us, relatively younger alumni members in the managing committee. I thank Vipul Master. There used to be previously dance masters, task master. So Vipul is today master of ceremony also. And other than Vipul, of course, all other my managing committee members of the Ruia College Alumni Association, they keep on coming here every month at least for our managing committee meetings. And obviously they forget their age, because once they are in Ruia, they are young Ruiites again. I thank Dilip Lakre. He is our coordinator. He is our link between Ruia College and us. And right from checks to snacks, everything he takes care. I thank, like how Dr. Sonali said, we have formed an advisory committee. So I thank advisory committee members, Professors Pednekar, Sathe, Lalita Paranspe, Achalatai Joshi, and Rita Doctor. I think most of them are today present here. I thank Principal Professor Doctor. She never likes it, but I get kick out of it. So saying all this, Principal Professor Dr. Anushri Lokur. So, and she's my boss also, in a way. It's not just because I'm professor of practice now in Ruia College itself, which is so satisfying coming back to college, And thanks for all year around, she has been again helping RCA in all activities. I thank Professors Varsha Shukla, Manish Hate, Sangeeta Kamath, and Swapnila Pimpre. These are the principal nominated members on RCA Managing Committee. And I thank Supriya, Prashant, and Swapnil. These are our In fact, if you would see, I thought she's student, but no, she's a professor. That's how. So you can stand, Supriya, and she works so actively right from the stage arrangement to everything. Pradyuman, you are, I think, 1 year junior to me in college, but he is way so much senior to me in all RCA activities, and big thank you to Pradyuman. He came from Pune all the way for this. I thank Bipin. Bipin Kulkarni is our go-to man, right from sound to photography to everything. We thank Girish Ketkar of Ketkar Caterers, those who have missed having Matar Karanji of Ketkar Caterers. Next year, come on time, 9:30 if you arrive, you will get to eat it and enjoy it for half an hour. I thank Arun Bhai from Matunga Mandap. You see all entire these collaboration, whatever arrangements are done. Flowers from Ashish Bagwe. I started with a dream. Ruia gave me dream. Like Jyoti, you said, I also said Ruia gave many of us our life partners also. So we thank Ruia College for that personal donation, gift, whatever we got. So that was not the dream. I started with the dream of the Oscar, and now it's the era of Donald Trump. So I'll give you another. Trump says what? Make America great again, right? MAGA. Now there is a Make India Great Again. I want to give the last, another next dream for 2047 Amrut Kal. That's called MRGA, which is Make Ruia Greater and Advanced Again. So I'm sure all of you, the students will be alumni that time, and those Sukumar and Kulinbai and Rashmi, I want to see all of us till 2047, every year, and in 2047, where Make Ruia Greater Again will be there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Milan, for the vote of thanks. We shall now conclude the program, but before that, let's all rise in respect of the national anthem. So, typically the national anthem plays, but we'll sing today. So, request all to sing in unison. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchal Jaladhi Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashish Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gatha Janagana Mangala Dayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Can I request the members of the managing committee of Ruia College Alumni Association to come on stage, please?